Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session. It is Thursday, the day prior to NFP. So tomorrow we will have NFP action. Today is also a European holiday, and as I told you on yesterday's stream, if you were trading London, you probably wouldn't get anything from it. As you can see, London just ranged here. We had some action here at the end of the session, but yeah, nothing interesting, since it was just a range of about 17 handles, and honestly, London did not take Asia lows here. There was only it was only we should only had a chance to get along if London took these Asia lows, but honestly, there was no setup on London. Well, what am I expecting for today's action? Well, honestly, we have some news at 9:45 and 10. These are red folder news. Right now, we already took London lows. We left Asia lows behind. And yeah, honestly, these highs here are quite suspicious. I guess we are bullish today, so I would like to see higher prices on ES, honestly. But since we are in a pre-NFP environment, I'm not demanding anything from price, honestly. It can still range inside this consolidation, as you can see here. But yeah, overall, I'm looking for higher prices because we have a daily for value gap here right above. We have buy side liquidity, as you can see here on the daily. Let me just check the daily. Yeah, it's a bit messy. I did not clear my drawings here, but as you can see, we still have to touch this daily fair value gap here. We have buy side liquidity in the form of relative equal highs here. We have this wick as well. We have another fair value gap here on the daily as well. If you look at the 4 hour, on the 4 hour, we have this fair value gap here, which is an important one, and eventually this fair value gap. But I would consider on the 4 hour, I would consider this order block here, which is the one we are working on right now. The main plan for today's action is to wait for these two news drivers for 9:45 and for 10, and see what price really wants to do, because we can eventually come down below, purging Asia lows, and then return to the upside, seeking for these highs here. But looking at the 4 hour candle, we already took the previous low of the previous 4 hour candle. We did not, on NQ, it didn't happen, so it might give us an SMT, but I'm still expecting lower prices here, eventually manipulating price to the downside, and then waiting for some kind of a reversal to the upside, which would give us some some kind of a manipulation, a consolidation, I mean. So this would be the consolidation. This would be demanipulation, and then we should have the expansion to the upside. So this could be our primary narrative for today's action. But since we are on a pre-NFP environment, it can eventually stay inside this range and purge and punish everybody who is trying to engage with price. So we have to keep that in mind as well. As you can see on the 4 hour, we are. This is an inside candle. The actual 4 hour candle is an inside candle, so a lot of consolidation can happen here. A lot of a zigzag can happen here. So I'm not willing um, to interact with this candle. I will wait for the next one, and eventually, if the next one purges this low and give us some kind of a bullish structure or a bullish reversal, I will take that reversal. Or if we do the vice versa, which is we will purge this high here and uh, wait for some kind of a bearish structure to the downside, I will take this. So the main plan should be something like this. So price comes here, takes Asia low and London low, and then eventually grinds up and does something like this. So this would be, but only after 10. I would only engage with this after 10 because I don't know what will happen before 10 with these two news driver. So this would be the main plan here. But we can eventually take into account another plan, which is price will come to the upside with news and then grind to the downside, and we will see eventually something like this. But I'm more inclined to the first uh, option, honestly. Yeah, so far price did a nice displacement to the downside. Quite a heavy displacement, taking everybody out, but retracing back to the upside, and eventually it will come back to the range. So just like I said before, it is Thursday. I've been advising you that you should not trade today on real accounts. As you can see, I'm taking I'm streaming on this demo account. So you should eventually do the same and try to test anything that you want to test on a demo account and not trying to engage with live trades or live accounts or funded accounts or combines or whatever you want to call it. So right now, price is taking Asia lows. This is the previous day high. Right here down below, we have a bullish for a value gap as well. So let's see if price manipulates to the downside and then eventually comes back to the upside. I will monitor it and see if it wants to take some of these type of actions today. Yeah, so far price is moving to the downside on a pre open, which is always suspicious to me. NQ almost reaching its previous 4-hour candle, 4-hour candle low. So this one I will take here because this is the range that I would like to play. As I said, I will wait for 10 a.m. news because this inside candle can eventually come back to the upside, and I'm not willing to and not allowing price to do that to me. So right now, sell side is kind of purged. We have sell side purged, but we still have some minutes before the the news. I will mark 9:30 open, which is right here. Yeah, so 9:30 open here. Yeah, we took Asia lows, London low. We will probably do the first presented for value gap now. Big displacement to the upside. So I will mark this right now. This can eventually be our first presented for value gap. So if there was no no news at 9:45 and 10, I would probably take my chances on longing this, honestly, because we took sell side already. We took the previous 4-hour candle low. We have some SMT with NQ, so this should be a clean setup to the upside, honestly. But since we are waiting for news, I will not engage with this. The low hanging fruit should be these highs around here and eventually around here as well. But at this point, it is important that we respect our plan and our rules. And the rules say that we should wait for. Yeah, let me just check here. Yeah, this one is the first presented for value gap. We should wait for 9:45 news and eventually 10 a.m. news as well. See, this is the type of price action that you don't want to be in, honestly. Price is still retesting everything here. For an accurate entry, it should be the stop should be around here. But yeah, I'm not taking this, honestly. I'm not liking how price is not respecting the first presented for value gap. This is just a schematic. And yeah, since it's Thursday, the day pre NFP, we can eventually do some strange things, just like purging highs and lows. and not taking any direction. So this is quite common on pre-NFP events. Yeah, price taking deep retraces here. At this point, the stop would be hit, but the main idea is still there. Honestly, I'm just waiting for we will have 9:45 news, so 3 minutes before news. And at this point, NQ already took the low of the previous 4 hour candle. I would like to see how it behaves as soon as we open another 4 hour candle. But it will take some time. It will take 17 minutes. So I will wait for that, honestly. But so far, the first presented for value gap is being uh, tested. Price is kind of waiting for the news. It would be great to see a manipulation a bit lower. Um, Eventually, it would be acceptable for the manipulation to come for this fair value gap here down below, the bullish one. But it will be hard because we are inside of a 4 hour fair value gap as well, the bullish one. So it would be kind of odd if we come lower. Yeah, price coming back to the upside. Here, the first presented for value gap is being respected. Notice how these wicks have done a lot of damage here. It would not be. It would definitely not be easy to position a stop loss here. Otherwise, you would have to have your stop loss below this wick here. But yeah, price action just zigzagging to the upside and to the downside, not anything clear here. Yeah, so far the bullish sentiment is working out. So the first presented for value gap has been respected as I predicted. It would be kind of hard to position a stop loss here. You should have a large stop loss here. But since we already took London low and Asia low, it is permissible for price to come to the upside, eventually um, seeking for this high right here, which is the 4-hour candle high. Yeah, price digging to the upside, grinding to the upside, trying to get through 8:30 open, 9:30 open, midnight open. So as you can see, price is like concentrated in this area. This is a type of price action when price is um, dealing inside of a inside candle. I mean, um, so there's the range is quite compact here. So let's see if we will have the second option, the option where we take this high and eventually come back down below, or if at 10 a.m. we will seek for lower prices once again and then come back to the upside. At this point, we are in the middle of the range once again, in the middle of the 4-hour candle. If price closes where it is, we can eventually measure a breaker here. As you can see, we have a low, a high, a lower low, and we broke that structure. So this run right here is a breaker. And if we can close above it, it should give us a bullish structure to the upside. Let me just do some projections here as well. So yeah, we have some confluence here. Minus 0.5 stands for the first buy side liquidity point. Then we have -1 standard deviation, which has some confluence with the daily fair value gap, following minus 1.5 standard deviation, which stands for the NWOG, and then minus 2.5, which is the midpoint of the bearish fair value gap here, the daily one. So let's see if price really holds this structure. Here we have some SMT with NQ as well. So this one right here on the 4-hour. So in the center, and in the middle, yes. So I will save this one as well. Save as SMT. Yeah, so far the breaker is holding here. So this could be eventually another position to take. You should have the stop below the breaker, and eventually below 9:30 open, 8:30 open, and midnight open. But as I said before, I will not take this trade. I will wait for 10 a.m. news. Yeah, so far I gave you 2 entries. The first one here, this is would be the second one. Price just stopped here on this bearish fair value gap. Remember that this is a low probability environment. That's why I'm not taking any trades yet. See, the breaker is not holding as it should be. Price may take another drive to the first presented for value gap, and honestly, it's not. NQ just took the high, took the low as well. So it's a low probability environment right now. Let me just check the OT levels here, just to see where price eventually can retrace to. OT levels. It's at the 50% here, can eventually come to 62. These wicks are doing a lot of damage here. We have about 3 minutes before the nose event. Retesting once again the first presented for value gap and reaching the 0.62 on the OT levels. Yeah, as you can see, price is not respecting anything right now. That's why it is important to wait. Taking trades before news driver events can eventually be tricky, and this is a clear example of it. Yeah, 1 minute left before the news event. Price is tumbling down here. Notice how we took this high. We'll take this low eventually, and if price comes back inside the range, yeah. See, this is what a Thursday pre-NFP does. So this is the low of the previous candle, the previous 4-hour candle. Both NQ and ES did not take this low. We reached previous day high and retraced right back above it. But as you can see, price is really crazy. It's not the environment that you should eventually trade. And I've been warning you since the beginning of the week. As you can see here, we have some kind of a, I would call this the megaphone pattern, which is something like this, where every high and every low is taken. So it is quite hard to frame anything on these conditions. It's a low probability environment, as you can see. So if you are willing to trade these conditions, well, and if you can trade this, then I would say that you're a great trader. But honestly, I don't know if you're a great trader or if you are naive trying to trade anything like this. Well, nothing that is presenting here is surprising me at all, because, as I told you, since the beginning of the week, Thursday should be a no trading day if you are trying to trade some real accounts. As you can see, we have some type of a megaphone pattern here, where every high is taken and following by every low being taken as well. So this is a type of a low probability environment where my edge does not work, or it it can work, but I may have to attempt it many times before it starts to work, honestly. At this point, I would like to see a purge of this sell side liquidity, this 4-hour candle low, and then the presentation of a bullish structure, of a bullish reversal. Otherwise, I will probably not engage with this. Vice versa can eventually happen as well, where the candle high is taken and then something bearish, some bearish reversal structure forms. But as of right now, this is no good. These are dot highs. Price will probably come to this data highs Damn. Data highs in the form of buy side liquidity. There we go. We already reached it. These were data lows here. So if price right now comes down, it just assumes the low probability conditions. Just remember that we are inside the 950, 10, 10 macro as well. So the macro came down, taking this liquidity right here and reverse to the upside, trying to take this data highs here. If we were playing a normal probability environment, this bullish leg should be extended to the next macro, which is the 10:50 to 11 a.m., 10:50 to 11:10. But since we are working in a low probability environment and price just came back to the range and it's in between these opens, the 9:30, the 8:30, and midnight open, um, the price can eventually stay like this. Yeah, no action here. Nothing that can eventually take us inside a trade here. But honestly, I'm content with it because I was totally expecting this type of action. I've been saying this since, I don't know, since the beginning of the week. It should be a no trading day. We can eventually have some action on the New York PM session, but it's a low probability condition as well. See how we are leaving the candle highs and the candle lows of the 4 hour intact. I will put this previous day high here. I will take this SMT out. So these are data highs, make no sense to be in here as well. The only thing that makes sense here is if it's presented through value gap. And notice how price is not willing to get out of this region. It's always coming back to the first presented for value gap. It's almost like waiting for something. I said in the beginning of the stream that I was looking for something like this to happen, where you have your consolidation here, then you should have your manipulation to the downside, and it would eventually be followed by an expansion to the upside. But since we are in a day prior to NFP, it might not happen. Yeah, so far NQ is pushing to the downside. ES as well. We will probably seek for the 4-hour candle low. But yeah, I can anticipate this being a boring environment until 11, at least. It will probably not do anything until 11. Price coming back. Yes. Mm. Price coming back to the opens, 9:30 open and 8:30 open. but since we didn't take out the 4 hour, the low of the previous 4 hour candle, it's quite suspicious to engage with it. Let me just check here the OTE levels once again, just to see where price stopped. Yeah, it stopped right at the 0.62. And it can eventually grind to the upside. It supports here at the open prices here. But even if it supports here and keeps grinding higher, I will not take any action because I can't see any major sell side points being taken on this 4 hour candle. Yeah, really boring price action right now. But once again, this was expected since tomorrow we have NFP. This is what we call low probability conditions where price just does what it wants to do. Let me just check the 15-minute here just to see where we are. Yeah, we have a bearish for value gap here. Price is trying to get above it, but not willing to do it. It came down here. Yeah, we had our consolidation, manipulation to the upside. It came down in a form of an expansion. Yeah, hard price action, honestly. But honestly, this is just working like I told you that it would work. I mean, um, Thursday before NFP, it's always a day where low probability conditions should be expected. Um, your trading should resume on Wednesday's morning. And Wednesday morning should be your last day before NFP. Then you can eventually take some positions after NFP. On NFP, you should expect some kind of manual intervention with a lot of volatility, with a lot of manipulation as well. So it's kind of hard to formulate anything, a narrative before NFP. And even if you have a clear narrative before NFP, it is always a low probability environment because of the manual intervention that usually takes place in events like NFP. Mm-hmm. So right now, this is the type of price action that we call barcode. It's it's just like a barcode price action. It can eventually come out of this range, um, but you never know where when it will end. It's rally, so eventually it can come to the upside, taking out in the last candle high, the last 4 hour candle high. Um, but but then you never know when price will come back to retrace because sell side was not properly purged. There we go. We are moving towards the 4 hour candle high, and eventually, after we take that candle high, now we'll see what price really wants to do. But I will not engage in this movement to the upside because I would have liked to see this low being purged here before we take this movement to the upside. I'm sorry about my camera, but I will fix it. I think I know what the problem is with my camera. I think it's a USB cable. Uh, then I already purchased one. I still have to I still have to manage to replace it. Well, for those who are watching, don't forget to like and subscribe or follow, whatever you want to call it. Um, if you like this kind of live streams, I tend to be here every day and try to give my best tape reading what price is doing, and eventually take some trades. Right now, I'm just trading. Um, I'm just trading a demo account, but I will move to the combines as soon as I feel I'm ready. So you can eventually um, you can eventually learn from something from me, and I can eventually learn something from you as well. We are we will be always learning as a traders. So if you're there, just give me just hit the like button and give me a subscribe or a follow. You can find me on YouTube, on Twitch as well, and I have another socials like Instagram, TikTok. But my main focus is YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, so price is approaching the 4 hour candle high, and I want to see if it gives us some kind of a reversal or if it wants to keep climbing higher. My bias was bullish, as I told you in the beginning of the stream, um, and as I said as well, when price was somewhere here, I said that price will or it tend to move from macro to macro. So as you can see, the low from 950, and we will probably hit the high at 1050 as well. So I will wait for it. This is usually the way price behaves. So we took out the the high of the previous 4 hour candle. We are kind of engulfing it. Let me just check NQ. NQ is not there yet. It seems like ES is just like waiting for NQ to hit that spot as well. So the 4-hour purge has been made. Now I would like to see if we want to come down, I would like to see some kind of a displacement to the downside, making some market structure shift. So nothing until now. Yeah, NQ and ES took the high of the 4-hour candle. NQ did not, so it can eventually give us some momentum to the downside. But usually when a movement starts at 950, which is this case, it usually extends to 1050. So we might eventually expect a continuation of this upside move until 1050. But we will see. Let me just check the 15 minutes as well. Yeah, nice reaction here. As I was telling you guys, sometimes when not sometimes, it usually happens when a movement starts at 950, it will eventually progress until 1050. So we eventually can expect a continuation to the upside until 1050. There we go. See, price is still running to the upside here. Nice reaction here. And it usually works like that. Nice reaction here. This fair value gap got inverted. So this confirms the inversion of the fair value gap. And price will eventually run to the upside here. Expecting the daily fair value gap as my bias was predicting. Now let's see if this bullish fair value gap holds. It should. It should hold. Yeah, as you can see, it is holding. See, price is driving itself to the daily fair value gap, which is acting as a drawn liquidity as expected at the beginning of the stream. The conditions for the entry were not clean. That's why I didn't engage with price, but the narrative and the draw was kind of correct here. So I'm content with it. And eventually this movement should end at 1050. And as soon as we hit 1050, probably move will probably end. Yeah, NQ just follow the ES. So at this point, my narrative was correct. My bias was correct as well, and the power of three that I was anticipating was correct as well. So the only thing that was not did not work as I expected was the purge of this 4 hour candle low, which I would like I would have liked to see, but yeah, the upside movement was anticipated, and you can see it in the beginning of the stream. Let's see if price will run for some more minutes here, or if it wants to start some kind of a consolidation here. Price to get into the order block here. Let's just see how many handles did price run. 30 handles. Yeah, it was quite a considerable run to the upside. Yeah, price still holding here on the fair value gap. As I told you, it might end the bullish movement might end in between 10.50 to 11.10. Price still grinding up. So there's nothing we can do right now. But the lesson to take here is that we were right since the beginning of the stream. The bias was correct. I expected some type of a power 3 or accumulation, manipulation, and expansion, or distribution, whatever you want to call it. And this is what exactly happened. As you can see here, if we take the 5 minute, you can see it a bit more precise. So here you have your, just let me put this in, yeah, in orange. So here you have your consolidation. Then you have your manipulation here in red, and then you have your expansion to the upside here. So this is what I was expecting, and it really happened. So the only thing that is that we were inside of low probability environments, so it turns things a little bit more tricky. Um, so even if you were correct here, um, it uh, would be quite possible that you got stopped out here, because it's it's very hard to frame an entry here with this type of price action. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that you know where price is going. Um, you have your narrative right, but it is not possible to frame a high probability setup or entry, and you just have to accept that price will run into the direction that you anticipated uh, without participating on it. So that's what we call discipline. So right now, price is approaching the 1050 to 1110 macro. So uh, this bullish leg might be ending here. I can accept it to have uh, another leg to the upside. Yeah, there we go. Another leg to the upside here, probably. Just finishing the macro to macro movement. And reaching the drawn liquidity that we were anticipating from the beginning of the stream. So at this point, I think that there is not much I can do here. The drawn liquidity is hit. I did not engage with any trade, but honestly, uh, our narrative was quite correct, quite on spot. Nancy Carter. So you're telling me you can't hear me? Yes, you can. I can reply you. Can you hear me, Nancy? I will probably have to see what's happening with my audio, because OBS says that I'm quite audible. Yeah. So there we go. It was a nice stretch to the upside here. It was a shame that we could not engage with it, since I was expecting some kind of a sell side purge here on the 4-hour candle, the previous one. But yeah, it was a nice run. at this point, I think that yes, we'll eventually touch the end wall here. It is just continuing its way to the upside, so it is logical for price to touch or trying to touch the end wall. The immediate reaction from the daily fair value gap here. And notice how we are hitting the next macro. So price moved from macro to macro. It really is a thing from price moving from one to another. It usually does it this type of things. Just see how price will react this value gap here. If it wants to invert this one, or if it will continue to the upside, touching the end wall. Yeah, we should see another run here. This might be the last one, since we are inside the 1050 to 1110 macro. This should be the last run to the upside here, since we are respecting this fair value gap, and we are eventually respecting the order block as well. So if you are interested in some type of scalp, this should be a run to the upside here, maybe the last one. Yeah, nice reaction from this for value gap here. It should eventually come to this and walk with no problem. Yeah, coming back to retrace once again. This is not the type of this is not the type of trades that I should take or that I take because we are uh, already almost at the end of the main movement here. -1 should be our main movement for today's action. Yeah, it seems like price is just forming an order block here and it's getting ready to give its last last stretch to the upside. Yeah, it's taking some time, but it will definitely do it. Honestly, it's just taking its time to work the order block. Yeah, praise taking some time, but it will definitely um, reach for the end walk. And I guess that's it, guys. I'm ending the stream. It's been 2 hours now, so it's time for me to say goodbye. And I hope that you learned something today. I hope that you could eventually take some out of this stream. And I hope to see you tomorrow once again. Remember that we will have NFP, and that you should be trading wisely. And yeah, don't do nothing before NFP. Wait for it. Don't try to open any type of positions before NFP because you might get hurt. You should wait for it. And yeah, that's it. I will be there tomorrow. Thank you very much and have a nice afternoon. Thank you.